My little brother just died, and it was a bit of a shock to me. He had so many things that he was involved in doing, and now he's gone and he can't do anything. And my previous wife, she died of breast cancer, and she's gone. And so many people around me in recent years are gone. And I'm not gone. And I'm older than any of them got to be. And I thought, you know, I've got to do something with my life. There's a reason. I don't want to be dramatic, but there's got to be a reason for me not dying and everybody else is dying. Why is this happening? You know, there's got to be a purpose in this. So I thought, you know, I think what I need to do is I need to get out and see people and find out what's going on at another level other than my own. So I started walking last year. In June, I started walking with a vengeance. And I thought, gee whiz, I can do this. And I thought, you know, I'll bet I could walk across America. I had thought for a long time, how am I going to get my creature comforts along? And I thought, you know, what I need is a cart, something to carry my stuff. And so after a lot of consideration, I thought, I need a baby carriage. Finally, I found one on the internet, and I went to REI, and I bought a carriage manufactured in Canada. It's called a Chariot. I find that history is usually made by people who had a dream, you know? And I find that the most difficult part of doing anything in life is to make the decision to do it. SAM is loaded with electronics. The electronics are required to get the power from the solar panel down to the batteries, from the batteries up through a controlling limiter which converts the power, and it runs it through a control switch up here which I can run with my thumb while I'm walking. And that didn't work out so good, but I made a modification. The factory's going to love it. My intent is to leave on April 1st, but with the operation coming up tomorrow, that's not going to happen. And I'll probably leave somewhere between the 15th and the 20th. I'm going to try to do 30 miles a day. I'm going to go from here through Burlington, Highway 9. Then I want to go down to Centralia on Old Highway 99. And then I'll go through Gresham. And then I'll go to Pocatello. And then down to Rollins. And I'll end up in Wichita Falls, Texas. And then from there I'll go over to Vicksburg, Mississippi. And from there I'll go down to Pensacola. And then I'll go to Orlando, where I have timeshares. And then down through Miami, and then when I get to Florida or Key West, I don't know, maybe walk back. What are we going to do when we get too hungry? You know, we got to have some place to eat, and I don't intend to stop at any restaurants, right? I'm going to be self-sufficient the whole way. No motels or hotels, no restaurants. This is my cooking utensils, and that becomes a sub-base for this wonderful butane stove which I found out on the marketplace. And then I take this plate that's in the back, which carries my buckets with my stove here and my food and my toilet. And butane thing in here, flip this upside down, turn the switch, push the button, I have a kitchen. I remember my grandfather used to take us on trips on his knee. We had some of the most fantastic trips. We go to Kilimanjaro. We went down the Blue Nile. We walked the Way of the Cross. All these things that he wanted to do, but he never did. Well, I did them. And when I was there on the Nile, I said, this is for you, Grandpa. So let me just turn this around so you can see this thing going and coming at you. Okay? This is what the cars will see coming at me, coming down the highway. And I always walk in the bicycle lane. I don't like sidewalks. I trip on them. So that's the way Sam defends himself and keeps from getting clobbered. And when I walk, I want to work. When I come into your town and you need something, I'm there for you. I want to get that message out there, that I'm there for you. Somebody said to me, make up some business cards and send them off to the Chamber of Commerce in the towns you're going to go through and let them know you're coming. I thought I might do that. I have another wheel. Doesn't have a motor. And I take this wheel off with the 2 bolts, unplug the electricity, and I slip this one in place of it, and now all I have to do is push. I don't have an electric motor anymore. But I've got a perfectly serviceable stroller. So I can still go, even without electricity. And I think that's kind of a nice way to fulfill and end a life, trying to do things that other people couldn't and share it with them. Because the body is an entity. The spirit is quite something else. And it's kind of interesting to think about. The body, you know, goes back to dust. That's no question about that. But what happens to that spirit? It's really interesting. Where is it? Where's it go? What does it do? And maybe there's something to this, you know? I don't know. But in the meantime, keep an open mind. And also, I'm getting some sailcloth, like spinnaker cloth. And I'm going to use this as a catch basin for water. And I'll have a little hose coming out the bottom, and it'll go into these bottles. So that's kind of where we are. And you know, I'm an old fart now. And how much more time do I have? I don't know. I may not be able to walk again in another 5 years, you know? So I want to take the time that I do have and do some of the things that other people can't because they're not here anymore. It takes a lot of guts to get out and do something that's different.